Hey, what is happening? This is Linus, you're watching TechLine. In this video, I want to talk about yet another budget device from Xiaomi, which is called Redmi Note 10 Pro. So this phone brings 120Hz refresh rate display, a quad camera system, pretty good specifications for the price, and a lot more other features. As usual in my videos, I wanted to go through the main features, pros and cons of this device, so you can make the buying decision yourself. This phone feels quite premium in the hand. However, at the time of this video, I don't have official confirmation about the materials used in the construction. The display is covered with Gorilla Glass 5, but it seems that the frame and the backplate are made of plastic. But I wouldn't say this is a big deal because this is a well-crafted device and it actually feels almost like a flagship phone in the hand. In fact, Xiaomi made the backplate look like glass as the material feels nice and sturdy even though it's a fingerprint magnet, just like all glossy surfaces. If you want to avoid fingerprints, just use the supplied case. I like the overall design language of the phone. Well, it's nothing that we haven't seen before, but the device looks nice nonetheless. One of the standout features, the Redmi Note 10 Pro is IP53 rated, meaning that it can survive accidental splashes of water. That doesn't mean that you can submerge it underwater, as this feature is usually reserved for flagship devices that carry IP68 certification. The device sits comfortably in the hand despite the fact that it is massive thanks to 6.7-inch AMOLED display with 120Hz refresh rate. I found this Gorilla Glass 5 covered screen to be nice and sharp, the colors are vibrant, and the panel is easily viewable outdoors as it can achieve 1200 nits of peak brightness. Really impressive spec for the phone in this price category. On the top of the display, we have this little punch hole that houses a 16-megapixel selfie camera. On the back, we have a quad camera system with a whopping 108-megapixel shooter at the core, ultra-wide, telemacro, and depth sensors. I took quite a few camera samples and I'll talk about image quality in just a bit. I really like the placement of the power key that doubles as a fast and reliable fingerprint reader. The face unlock feature is accurate and fast too, as it is able to recognize my face even when I wear this gigantic winter jacket hood. Other features include a headphone jack, so you can use the phone with classic headphones. There is also an IR blaster, a dual SIM and a dedicated micro SD card slot, multifunctional NFC, and a very good sounding dual speaker system. Here is a quick audio test. Connectivity has been great on this device. From call quality to signal reception to Wi-Fi and GPS, this device has you covered. As far as hardware goes, this phone ships with Snapdragon 732G processor, plenty of RAM, and a lot of storage. The phone that I have has 6GB of RAM and 128GB of storage. If you combine these specs with a 120Hz refresh rate display, you can expect a good day-to-day performance, and that is the case with the Note 10 Pro. I found the phone to be fast and fluid pretty much all the time. It ships with MIUI 12 that is built on top of Android 11, and if you have used a Xiaomi phone before, you'll feel right at home. There is an array of features and customization options to make the device look and feel your own. Gaming performance is good too. I was able to play the usual games I use to test out new phones without any issues. For instance, both Asphalt Extreme and Call of Duty run fine on the highest graphics settings. I played PUBG on HD graphics at high frame rate setting and there were almost no skipped frames, which is quite impressive. Daylight image quality is really impressive on this device. Well, some of the wide-angle shots could be a little bit sharper, especially around the edges, but they still look pretty good. The main shooter takes very nice-looking photos with a lot of detail and sharpness, good contrast, quite accurate colors, and good dynamic range. These are definitely one of the best-looking images in this price range. You can also take 2x zoom pictures, which may look okay on social media, but don't expect stellar quality. 108 megapixels photos give you plenty of resolution to play with, but I would suggest you stick to the regular mode, which produces pictures with better contrast, sharpness, and better dynamic range. With a little bit of patience and the help of a tripod, you can take really nice macro shots thanks to the 5 megapixels autofocus camera. You can also shoot decent quality macro videos. The portraits look really good. I like accurate edge detection, good contrast, and skin tone reproduction. Keep in mind that I took all of the shots using a tripod and a timer function on the device, meaning that I completely trusted phone software to take images of me. Selfie quality is great. I love the quality of images taken in both auto and portrait modes. Also, I like the beauty mode, it makes me look younger. Low light images have a good amount of detail and noise is kept to a minimum. Just like all phones in this price segment, the camera struggles with the street lighting, but the overall image quality is still one of the best you can get for the money you pay. I took quite a few low-light selfies in dedicated night and portrait modes. If you can find a little bit of street lighting to light up your face, you'll be able to take nice-looking images. As you can see, the 4K video shot on the main camera using a tripod looks great. There is plenty of detail and sharpness, and the overall footage quality is quite impressive. 2x zoom 4K 30fps tripod video also looks pretty good, but obviously there is less detail. If you want to use the wide-angle shooter, you're limited to 1080p resolution, which is a little bit frustrating. If you want to shoot handheld, be ready to see quite a lot of shakiness in 4K 30fps mode using the main camera, 2x zoom or 1080p 60fps modes. That's why for handheld video, I suggest you use either wide angle or the main camera in 1080p 30fps mode. The video looks very smooth and stable thanks to gyro-based image stabilization. There is a steady video mode too for even better stabilization, but standard 1080p modes produce footage that is stable enough for me. A few other video recording modes that I used on the Note 10 Pro include a dual video that allows you to use the main and selfie cameras at the same time. I also shot a few videos in 120fps in 720p resolution. You can increase the resolution to 1080p and go up to 960fps slow motion video if you wish so. 1080p selfie video looks great. It is sharp and detailed, and even image stabilization is quite good. The sound recording quality is good too. If you mount the phone on a tripod, you might even use the device for making online content. Check it yourself. This is 1080p 30fps video test using a selfie shooter of the Redmi Note 10 Pro. As you can see, I'm using a tripod and I'm standing here by the river, so you might hear a little bit of ambient sound, but this is video and audio test, so this is how the video would look like. When it comes to battery, this device ships with 5020 mAh unit, and I would say that the battery life is very good. Screen on time really depends on how you use the device, but here is my usage scenario. I went to this location to take about 220 pictures, I shot over 20 videos, and I used the phone's screen brightness at 100%, and I also used 120Hz refresh rate. Then I came back home and I reduced the screen brightness setting to 50%. I watched some YouTube videos, browsed the web, scrolled through the social media, and this kind of usage resulted in over 11 hours of screen on time, and I think this is a very good result. Charging time is over 1 hour with a supplied 33 watts fast charger. So here's my conclusion. I tried to be very picky to find some shortcomings of this device, and I would say that 4K 30fps video is a little bit shaky when shot handheld, but it can be fixed using a gimbal or a tripod, and I would also say that some of the wide-angle shots could be a little bit sharper, but they still look pretty good. Other than that, you get a really nice looking device with great 120Hz refresh rate display, good overall performance, great battery life, good cameras, and a great sounding dual loudspeaker system. In conclusion, I think that Xiaomi did it again. They made a great budget device, and if you're looking for a budget phone with a massive screen and just a great budget phone overall, the Redmi Note 10 Pro is definitely one of the best options out there. What do you think about the Xiaomi Redmi Note 10 Pro? Would you buy this phone? Would you not? Tell me in the comment section down below which is your favorite feature of this budget device. Also, please like the video if you liked it, please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and as always, it was Linus, thank you for watching and see you soon.